Let's come to order. I would like to thank everybody for coming to our Monday, December 14th, 2015 work session. A review of the minutes for the November 23rd, 2015 Commission meeting. Commissioners have had an opportunity to review the minutes. Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, review of memorandum of warrants for a period of November 19, 2015 through December 9, 2015. Ms. McDuffie.
Yes, Chairman. The memorandum of warrants for the period stated totaled $3,182,445. All amounts paid were a result of invoice documentation, contracts, or wages due in the normal course of business. The amounts and pays were reviewed by the administrator and are being presented to the Commission for approval.
Thank you. Any questions about the memorandum of warrants? Under old business, discuss Ridge Improvement District Board appointments. 3 are due January 11th, 2016. The candidates are Steve Forehand, David Sturdivant, and Thomas T. Lambert. Is there any additional names to be added? Under new business, discuss lease for Corn Creek Park with the Coosa River Paddling Club in the city of Wetumpka. Mr. Byer, I think you have something on this.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, many months ago we came to you with a agreement that had been reached in principle with the Coosa River Paddling Club, many of them that are in the audience tonight, in the city of Wetumpka, for a partnership to restore the access to Corn Creek Park, establish a new access point that would not interfere with the law enforcement activities on our judicial complex property. And in this agreement, the terms would give the paddling club a 3-year lease that is renewable for 3 years at a time, continuing on. The way this is written, there's no action needed by the Commission as long as they're in agreement to allow it to roll over. The agreement is based on $50,000 in project cost for the materials for a crush-based single-use road. The city of Wetumpka has agreed to $15,000. The Coosa River Paddling Club $15,000, which I believe they're going to make a presentation to you here in a few minutes. And then the county commission has put in $20,000 for the materials plus our in-kind services to construct the roadway. So we will have well more than $20,000 in the project, but that is our contribution to $20,000. So in-kind services means our labor, equipment to do the necessary work out there. We've walked the property, visited with a number of the paddling club members. They understand what it entails. There's maps included. So it's just fruition to a long-term solution to a problem that we had that really came up when we started the EOC and having that law enforcement activity that needed to be separated. So, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, y'all have any questions of me on this?
Thank you, Mr. Byer. Is there any commissioners that have any comments or questions? Next, the Coosa River Paddling Club. They have a check presentation for the Corn Creek Park. Who is going to come to the microphone? Well, let's. How do we want to do this? That's not the big one.
It's not a big check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let the rest of the club come up, and we'll take a picture of the presentation.
Sure.
Just stand up here in the front, and we'll stand behind there.
Thank y'all for partnering with us. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Mr. Chairman, before the paddling club leaves, if the president or whoever's going to sign the document will stay, we've got the document for their execution as well.
Thank you. And I want to appreciate the paddling club and all of the patience that they have shown during our process. I know that the new project up there kind of threw monkey wrenching to the way things have been done up there for a long time. With patience, we were able to work out a alternate plan for y'all to be able to access the park back there. So I'm excited that it'll get back open and get back to being used by our people. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate it. Any other commissioners have any comments? Thank y'all. Next, the Elmore County Healthcare Authority Board appointment due January 11th, 2016. The candidate is Sammy Turner. Is there any additional names to be added? Next, discuss authorizing JetPep 786 Inc. to advertise for a public hearing on 050 retail beer off-premise only and the 070 retail table wine off-premise only liquor license application for Intech 104 JetPep 786 1715 South Memorial Drive, Prattville, Alabama 36067. This is authorizing them to advertise. Next, discuss, consider authorizing Dollar Gin Corp. to advertise for a public hearing on a 050 retail beer off-premise only and a 070 retail table wine off-premise only liquor license application for Dollar General Store, 16298, 3160 Rifle Range Road, Wetumpka 36093. This is a resolution to allow them to advertise. Next, discuss resolution 2015-12-14 regarding Judge of Probate Office $1 copy fee pursuant to Act 452681.22D. Before we get into discussion, I'd like Ms. Erb to read the resolution for the public.
Resolution 2015-12-14. Whereas the Alabama Legislature enacted Act 2014-106 to alter the expenditure procedures for certain public funds collected by the Judge of Probate for Elmore County under the authority originally granted by local law enacted in 1999, and whereas Act 2014-106 requires the public funds so collected by the Judge of Probate for Elmore County to be deposited into the general fund of the County Commission of Elmore County, where such monies are subject to the Constitution of Alabama and the general laws of the state regarding proper and authorized expenditures, and whereas Act 2014-106 directs that such funds be deposited into the general fund to be expended at the discretion of the Judge of Probate for acquiring and maintaining equipment, improving the efficiency of operations of the office, supplementing the salaries, and acquiring and maintaining office space, and whereas Act 2014-106 does not provide the Commission with any guidance or authority to determine whether the expenditures requested by the Judge fall within the parameters of acquiring and maintaining equipment, improving the efficiency of operations of the office, supplementing salaries, and acquiring and maintaining office space, and whereas the provisions of Act 2014-106 do not serve to relieve the Commission of its duty to ensure the proper and legal expenditure of all monies maintained in the general fund. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the County Commission of Elmore County, Alabama, as follows. Section 1, effective December 14, 2015, the Commission will no longer make individual distribution of funds collected by the probate judge and deposited into the general fund as provided by Act 2014-106. Rather, effective December 14, 2015, the Commission will accept deposits from the Judge of Probate, which are accompanied with a requisition directing the Commission to remit the exact amount of the deposited public funds into an account established and maintained for the purpose of the probate judge. Section 2, effective December 14, 2015, the Judge of Probate shall maintain the appropriate financial records and shall be responsible for the expenditure of monies deposited into the account established and maintained for the purposes outlined herein. Section 3, the funds held by the Commission on December 14, 2015, which were deposited into the general fund in Act 2014, shall be held in the general fund and not expended until such time as the litigation regarding the distribution of public funds is resolved. Section 4, the chairman or the county administrator is hereby authorized to take all actions deemed necessary to facilitate the implementation of this resolution. Section 5, this resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption, and then passed, adopted, and approved this the 14th day of December 2015.
Thank you. Mr. Weller, do you have a comment on the resolution?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Effectively, what the resolution is doing is it's memorializing the changes that were introduced by the amendment, the 2014 amendment. In that amendment, the judge's $1 copy, probate judge's $1 copy discretionary fund, he used to have to come to the commission to approve the expenditures, and the expenditures were also more limited at the time. What that amendment did is it basically took the commissions out of the process and also expanded the expenditures that the probate judge could make at his sole discretion. So this resolution, in effect, recognizes that the commission no longer has a role in the way that those monies are expended, and therefore what you've done is when the money comes to the commission from the probate's office, a check will be cut back immediately to the probate judge so that he can put it in his own account, and that he will be making the decisions about where to spend his $1 discretionary funds. And so all this resolution does is basically create the process for setting up the probate judge to set up his own account so he can spend his own funds.
Thank you. And this is really the purpose of the law that was changed last year anyway, for him to be able to, at his sole discretion, use the money instead of having to come through the commission.
That's correct.
Is there any questions or discussion about this? Hearing none. Next, consider resolution for project ECP 26-05-16, installation of roundabout at the intersection of Redland Road and Fire Tower Dozier Road, an agreement with AlDOT for preliminary engineering, utilities, right-of-way, and construction phase of project. Mr. Byer.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, these agreements and resolution will move forward the project. We were awarded the safety grant that we were awarded a little over a month and a half ago. They're standard agreements. The only reason we have 4 phases and or 4 agreements is because it covers each phase of the construction of the project, the engineering, the utilities, and right-of-way separately. So typically we get an agreement for each one as we go along the way, but because these were one-time grant awards, they're giving us all the agreements at one time. So.
All right, thank you. Any questions for the engineer? Next, notification of no bid on bid inquiry 2016-22, sale of scrap vehicles. Mr. Byer.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, we did not receive any bids for the scrap vehicles that were going to be sold as is with no titles, basically a scrap metal. I have talked with our EMA director, and we would like to make the suggestion that the Commission donate those vehicles to the Volunteer Firefighters Association to allow them to use them for extraction practice or anything like that nature, or if they want to save them for County Government Day and do the extraction then. But it appears that we're not going to get any with scrap metal being as low as it is. We're not going to get any viable bids, and I think that would be a better use of those cars. Eric is going to work on that and coordinate that with the Firefighter Association to first come, first serve who's interested in that.
All right. Any questions or any objections to the recommendation? Next, under the consent docket, reapprove proposed plat for Riverstone Plat 2, approve travel memorandum, approve FMLA request for Jacqueline Hogan, dispatcher, approve declaration of emergency illness for Jacqueline Hogan, dispatcher, approve 40-hour sick leave donation from James Marsh to Jacqueline Hogan. Is there any item on the consent docket any commissioner wants to pull out for separate consideration? Under personnel notification, notification of termination of William Alexander, mechanic, effective 12/9/15. Notification of resignation of William Glasper, building maintenance tech, effective 12/3/15. These are our personnel notifications. Reports to the Commission. Administrator, Ms. McDuffie, do you have a report tonight?
Yes, sir, I do. I just wanted to mention that as of December the 31st of each year, the Commission is required by the Code of Alabama, Section 11-321, to submit to the local newspaper a unaudited financial statement for the fiscal year ending. So probably either this week or next week, the Wetumpka Herald will be publishing our, unaudited financial statements as of September the 30th of 2015. And I believe I gave each one of you a copy of what's going to be coming out in the newspaper.
Right.
Is there any questions you have of me?
Anything for the administrator? Thank you, Ms. McDuffie. Mr. Byer, do you have reports?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, in front of you, you got two documents. One is just a one-sheet page that says dirt road improvements at the top. That gives you an idea of where we are on our Crust Base project, where we're trying to improve as many dirt road miles as we can with the $250,000 set aside. To date, we've completed a little over 6 miles of dirt road improvements. We've got another 3/4 of a mile that is in process right now. So we're clicking right along. The only thing that's really affected us in terms of our progress was we saw a price increase October 1 in the crust base material from $7.50 a ton to $9. So that'll affect us a little bit, but progress is going very well in terms of getting those roads improved. The other item you have looks like this. It's got a picture of the front of the courthouse midterm IGA report. This is from our ESCO, Schneider Electric. They're doing our energy savings project. This report basically is what I've given you is just one page out of the executive summary. This is what the report looks like. You're more than welcome to look at it. I put myself to sleep last week reading through the whole thing. But it is very detailed in the improvements that they're proposing. One good note in here is they're proposing that through the methods that the different projects and methods that they're proposing to us, that we will see up to $4 million in energy savings over the life of the project, which also means there could be up to $4 million worth of improvements. What we're waiting for now is a schedule of not just what the projects are, but a detailed cost estimate of what it would take to implement it. But in terms of simple percentages, that's about 37% reduction in our utility cost. That includes everything but our communications. Our communications are being handled under a separate project. So that's pretty. When the ESCO comes back to you and says they can't believe the amount of savings that we could reach, and they do it every day, that's pretty amazing to if it shocks them. So and they're not doing anything wild, or there's no crazy calculations. There's no fuzzy math, any of that kind of stuff. They actually have been very conservative because they have undershot the operation and maintenance savings that we could have, and they've asked us for some input on track record on operation and maintenance. So what you see there, the $3,000, that's going to be basic things like light bulbs and stuff like that they have used for their experience in dealing with energy projects in general. So a very good report, and we'll follow up with you when we get more detailed reporting from them in terms of the cost. And I will say the annex project is clicking right along. We're still trying to get that in a position where we can bid that after the first of the year. We're trying to dial down some things on the site out here. Hopefully after the first of the year we'll be able to start moving some dirt out here, getting the site prepped. And the other building project, the highway department, we have a slab poured, and they should be starting to come up with the block walls here before too much longer. So hopefully when y'all are out at the highway department Wednesday for our luncheon, you'll be able to see some of that progress out there. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have in the way of report. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions for the engineer? EMA report, Mr. Jones, do you have anything today?
Just a couple of things. We've been working the last couple of weeks, just continuing to move in and get things settled in the new facility. We've been working with the 911 director, Mr. Justice, and Corey Shaw with the Sheriff's IT department, and working through issues as we've run up on some of those. And also working with ITS on the phone system. We've continued to work on those, and we think we've got all of those issues that we had worked out. We're going to continue to be settling in with a few things, and I'd just like to say thank you for your leadership on the building dedication ceremony today. I thought it was absolutely fabulous. I really did. It was just a very fitting day for the facility. We have a lot of work, like I said out there. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, getting to our new normal, and coordinating through the MAC group again like we were, and I look forward to getting a lot of those meetings scheduled after the first of the year and getting the coordination back with all of our stakeholder agencies where we had it. And, just like to say Merry Christmas to you all. Do y'all have any questions for me?
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Any questions from Mr. Jones? County Attorney report, Mr. Weller, do you have anything tonight?
Nothing additional, Mr. Chairman.
Anything for the attorney? Please note, following the business portion of the regular meeting tonight, Chris Weller, legal counsel with Capel & Howard, has requested to convene executive session to discuss pending or threatened litigation. My understanding is there will be no action taken after the executive session. Is that correct?
That's right, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
I found that the request for executive session meets the requirements of the law.
Okay. All right, important calendar dates, Ms. Erb, you have them?
Thursday, December 17th is the annual employee Christmas breakfast from 7:30 to 9. Beginning Wednesday, December 23rd at noon, the courthouse will close and remain closed through Friday, December 25th in observance of Christmas. Friday, January 1st, the courthouse will be closed in observance of New Year's. Saturday, January 9th is the next countywide cleanup day at all locations from 9 to 1. And Monday, January 11th at 5 o'clock is our next work session with the business meeting following.
Thank you. Reports to the commission. Commissioner Taylor, do you have anything tonight?
I just, being our last commission, meeting for, this year, I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and, just go out and give to people that isn't as, you know, that doesn't get as much as we do. I think, you know, this is a time for giving, throughout the Christmas season, and, God bless everybody, and, you know, be careful through the holidays.
Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. Commissioner Falk, do you have anything?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's been an extremely busy time of year, and since we last met, I was able to attend Christmas gathering at Miss Rosa Lee and Jim Wade's house there in Millbrook. Also, I attended the tree lighting celebration there in Millbrook. Also was able to participate in the Millbrook Christmas parade, and also was able to attend a Christmas gathering over what I call is the Elmore International Municipal Airport, but I think it's actually the Wetumpka Airport, sponsored by Mr. Dave Ramsey. Had a wonderful time there, meeting with most of our state representatives. Well, all of them were there. Reed Ingram was there, Mike Holmes was there, and Representative Paul Beckman was there. And certainly appreciate good relationships with our state representatives. Good to see Senator Chambliss today at the EOC dedication. I don't think Senator Brubaker was there. He's had some health issues. It was good to see the Mayor of Millbrook there, and also some members of his council there. With that said, I just also, along with Commissioner Taylor, would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Commissioner Falk. Commissioner Smoke, do you have anything?
Yes, sir, just a few things. First, I would like to thank the director and staff of the Millbrook Child Development Center. I had an opportunity to go and read to their precious little ones a Christmas story. They actually did the 12 Days of Christmas, and I was, I think, the last person, so it was quite uplifting and very rewarding. It's just amazing to see such little people get so excited about this time of year, so that definitely helped to get me in the Christmas spirit. Also, I want to just kind of echo some of the comments I made earlier regarding Eric and all his hard work on the EOC system, EOC building that we did the dedication on today. Eric, I greatly appreciate everything you've done, and thank you so much for having the fortitude, the vision, and also the stamina to keep this going for so long, to make sure that the citizens here in Elmore County are safe, and that we all have a means to communicate in the event, in the unfortunate event we are hit with some type of catastrophic storm. We're now very well prepared, and I want to thank all my fellow commissioners for all stepping up to make sure that we not only had the money to do it, but we didn't have to put all the burden on the citizens of and taxpayers of Elmore County by way of going out and getting some donations and reaching out to some of our neighbors who were able to help us come up with the additional funds that we needed. So just really a big kudos to everyone who was involved in that. I think that we now have a building that both, all three entities, the sheriff, the 911 board, as well as the EMA, can all collaborate more effectively, and they can do it in a place where not only will they be safe, but if we were to get in a situation and we had to bring media and other personnel in, they too would have a building that would house what they needed so that we can continue to get the message out to the citizens of this great county. So I can't say enough about that. It's quite a great accomplishment, and I'm thankful to have been able to be a part of it, because I think it does transcend us a good 30-plus years, especially looking at where we came from. So it's actually a wonderful day to be in Elmore County, and I think we've done something that's quite historic and something that the citizens will forever be appreciative of. So again, thank you, Eric. Kudos to you and your family, and to my fellow commissioners for all working together to make this a reality. And I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy and safe and prosperous New Year.
Thank you, Commissioner Smoke. Commissioner Rachel.
I'd just like to say I concur with Commissioner Smoke and the other commissioners. Eric, y'all done a good job. My hat goes off to everybody that was involved. I think it's going to be more efficient. Where you didn't have all these departments scattered out, misinformations accidentally. I think it's a nice building. I'd like to ask everybody to keep my family in your prayers on some issues that have come up, and also, I would like to tell everybody to wish I'm very Merry Christmas. I've got a lot on my mind right now, and a safe and happy New Year. God's blessed us, all of us, this country, and He is the reason for the season. And I'd like to, like I said, wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a safe New Year.
Thank you, Commissioner Rachel. I do want to say I was very pleased at the turnout for the building dedication today. Eric Jones and his staff did a great job pulling that together, and the sponsors that came in and helped with the tent and the food. We do appreciate those people. And I did promise Debbie that I was going to make you take some time off now that this building is complete. So you're going to have to take some time off, Eric. All right? All right. I will, we're going to we're going to adjourn the work session, and I will go get the agenda ready, and we'll be back for the business meeting. Let's come to order. I want to call the Monday, December 14, 2015 business meeting to order. I'll ask Eric Jones to lead us in our invocation and Commissioner Taylor to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Dear God, we come to you tonight again just humbly thanking you for the prosperity you poured out on our county, and just the blessings that you continue to pour out on our lives, dear God, each and every day. And dear God, help us to just appreciate the relationships today at the dedication ceremony. Just foot stomped the relationships that so many have in public service in Elmore County, and then also with our citizens. We had several out today, and just celebrating the new facility. And again, we thank you for the new facility. And dear God, I pray that we'll never take those relationships for granted, and help us to work tirelessly to improve those relationships and establish new ones, and just serve in a manner pleasing to you, dear God, and all that we do in serving the public. Dear God, again, I lift our county commission up to you, dear Lord, and just pray for your wisdom and guidance for them and their health, dear God, and their families, dear God. A lot of times we don't think, for whatever reason, that they have families too. All our elected officials do. They put a target on their chest and on their back during the day, every day, and answer a lot of questions for people. And dear God, I pray for them and their families, and being able to balance everything, as daunting as that task is sometimes. And dear God, again, also we want to remember our soldiers overseas that are fighting for our freedoms, dear God, and fighting for democracy around this world. And dear Lord, there's just a lot of uncertainty in the world we live in today, and dear God, we know that we can just rest in you, and we have peace in knowing that you have us in the palm of your hand. And dear Lord, just help us to comfort those in this time that need comfort. Dear Lord, I pray that you'll help us to remember that the season that's upcoming, the Christmas season, you are the reason for that season. And dear Lord, we also know it's not easy for everyone. And we just pray that you'll help us to be the hands and feet of you and serving others. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Present.
Commissioner Falk?
Here.
Chairman Bowen?
Here.
Commissioner Rachel?
Yes.
Commissioner Daniel Smith?
Present.
Move we approve the minutes of November 23rd meeting.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Falk?
Yes.
Chairman Bowen?
Yes.
Commissioner Rachel?
Yes.
Commissioner Daniel Smith?
Yes.
Move we approve the memorandum warrants from November 19th to December 9th, 2015.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Falk?
Yes.
Chairman Bowen?
Yes.
Commissioner Rachel?
Yes.
Commissioner Daniel Smith?
Yes.
Under new business, a motion to approve or deny authorizing chairman to execute lease for Corn Creek Park with the Coosa River Paddling Club in the city of Wetumpka.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Falk?
Yes.
Chairman Bowen?
Yes.
Commissioner Rachel?
Yes.
Commissioner Daniel Smith?
Yes.
Motion to approve or deny authorizing Jet Pep 786 Inc. to advertise for public hearing on a 050 retail beer off-premise only and a 070 retail table wine off-premise only liquor license application for Intech 104 Jet Pep 786, 1715 South Memorial Drive, Prattville, Alabama. Said public hearing to take place on January 11, 2016 at 5 p.m.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Falk?
Yes.
Chairman Bowen?
Yes.
Commissioner Rachel?
Yes.
Commissioner Daniel Smith?
Yes.
Motion to approve or deny authorizing Dollar Gin Corp. LLC to advertise for a public hearing on a 050 retail beer off-premise only, 070 retail table wine off-premise only liquor license application for Dollar General Store, 16298, located at 3160 Rifle Range Road, Wetumpka. Said public hearing will take place at January 11, 2016 at 5 p.m.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Call the roll.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Falk?
Yes.
Chairman Bowen?
Yes.
Commissioner Rachel?
Yes.
Commissioner Daniel Smith?
Yes.
Motion to approve and deny resolution 2015-12-14 regarding judge of probate office $1 copy fee pursuant to Act 452681.22D.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Falk?
Yes.
Chairman Bowen?
Yes.
Commissioner Rachel?
Yes.
Commissioner Daniel Smith?
Yes.
Motion to approve and deny authorizing resolution for project ECP 26-05-16, installation of roundabout at the intersection of Redland Road and Fire Tower Dozier Road. Authorize chairman to execute agreement with AlDOT for preliminary engineering, utilities, right-of-way, and construction phase of same project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Falk?
Yes.
Chairman Bowen?
Yes.
Commissioner Rachel?
Yes.
Commissioner Daniel Smith?
Yes.
Motion to approve or deny donating vehicles from bid inquiry 2016-22, sell of scrap vehicles to Elmore County Volunteer Fire Department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Falk?
Yes.
Chairman Bowen?
Yes.
Commissioner Rachel?
Yes.
Commissioner Daniel Smith?
Yes.
Move it, we approve the consent docket.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Falk?
Yes.
Chairman Bowen?
Yes.
Commissioner Rachel?
Yes.
Commissioner Daniel Smith?
Yes.
Ms. McDuffie, do you have any further? Mr. Byer, do you have anything further? Mr. Jones? Mr. Weller?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to adjourn the executive session and not reconvene the business meeting to discuss pending threatened litigation as requested by Chris Weller, legal counsel with Capel and Howard. Mr. Weller, before we do this, you've had an opportunity to review the matter for discussion. Does it rise to the exemption of the...
Yes, I have, Mr.
public
Chairman. It
meeting?
does rise to the exemption.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have-
Second.
I have a motion and a second. We will not reconvene after the executive session. Call the roll.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Falk?
Yes.
Chairman Bowen?
Yes.
Commissioner Rachel?
Yes.
Commissioner Daniel Smith?
Yes.
We are adjourned.